With its low position on the horizon, the sun hung gracefully, casting its long golden rays over the rugged coast of Cape Serenity in Massachusetts. The summer of 1998 was unfolding, bringing with it the notorious reputation of the Atlantic Ocean for its capricious temperament. John Copper, a seafarer with many years of experience, emerged as a weathered individual who hailed from a lineage of fishermen who had skillfully plied their trade along this treacherous expanse of the Atlantic Ocean. John called Rockport his home, a charming fishing village at the Cape's edge, a place where the air was stained with salt and the narrow streets echoed with the cries of gulls. The sea, with its dual role as a provider, bestowed its bountiful gifts upon humanity while simultaneously demanding its rightful tribute. On a fateful morning, the promise of a generous catch whispered through the salty breeze, beckoning John to set out alone. With determination in his eyes, he embarked on his adventure, his trusty boat, the Lady's Grace, slicing through the waves with precision and grace. Knowing the risks involved in solo expeditions, he was still enticed by the allure of a particularly rich fishing spot, known as Whale's Maw, which ultimately led him astray from the safety of the fleet. As the hours passed, John's anticipation gradually diminished, and a palpable unease began to replace it. The waters grew eerily calm, and a deceptive stillness settled upon them, creating an illusion that masked the teeming life that thrived beneath the surface. Suddenly, the unmistakable form of a great white shark emerged, showcasing its immense size and power as a leviathan of the deep. The great white shark circled, slicing through the water with its dorsal fin, resembling a sharp knife. John's heart raced as he fixated on the predator below. He was well acquainted with the stories surrounding these creatures, which possessed the formidable ability to effortlessly snap a boat in two with a single bite. Panic loomed menacingly, threatening to engulf him, but the countless years spent navigating the vast sea's treacherous waters had instilled an unwavering faith in his intuition. Scanning the horizon, he fervently prayed for any indication of a fellow fisherman, or the sight of a ship on the distant horizon. The relentless expanse of the sea stretched infinitely in all directions, offering nothing but its vastness to the weary traveler. It was a duel between man and nature, a confrontation that neither the man nor the shark had actively sought, but both found themselves inexorably bound to. The minutes stretched out into what felt like hours as the standoff continued. With steady hands, John reached for the flare gun that was secured to the boat's railing. Aiming towards the sky, he pulled the trigger, sending a brilliant red flare soaring. The signal emanated as a beacon of hope, instilling within him a fervent prayer that it would catch the attention of someone, somewhere, who would perceive it and promptly render aid. As the flare arced through the sky, John's heart pounded in his chest, his senses heightened by the adrenaline coursing through his veins. Breathless, he watched as the object burst into a mesmerizing shower of sparks, which gracefully scattered an enchanting light across the vast expanse of the darkening sea. For a brief moment, the world appeared to be suspended in time as the rhythmic clapping of waves against his boat became the only sound that could be heard. From the mist-shrouded distance, a shape emerged, revealing itself as a vessel that gracefully cut through the calm waters. A tidal wave of relief washed over John, engulfing him in its comforting embrace. The Silver Crest, a sturdy craft captained by Ben Thompson, was a sight for sore eyes as it stood tall in the fading light. The crew of the Silver Crest sprang into action. Their shouts and movements were synchronized in a dance of urgency. They were well aware of the danger that lurked beneath the surface, fully aware of the precariousness of the situation. In the fading light, the harpoons gleamed as the brave individuals prepared themselves to confront the formidable Great White. The battle ensued, and it transformed into a symphony of chaos and courage. The sea churned with a fury matched only by the determination of the individuals who called it their home. Harpoons were slicing through the air. Their aim was true as they struck the water with a resounding thud. Undeterred by the onslaught, the great white shark surged towards John's beleaguered boat with an unyielding force of nature. Time blurred as it folded moments into one another, desperately seeking survival. John's muscles were throbbing with pain, and he was struggling to catch his breath, which was coming in ragged gasps. Just as despair began to claw at his resolve, John felt a surge of determination as Captain Ben delivered a final, well-aimed strike that found its mark. The harpoon struck true, driving the beast back as it was forced to retreat, leaving behind a trail of crimson in its wake. The wounded great white shark vanished into the depths of the ocean, creating a captivating tableau of churning waters that bore witness to its fierce battle. As it disappeared, a lingering taste of victory, intertwined with the essence of salt, permeated the surrounding environment, a testament to its triumph. In the aftermath, the small ship, the Lady's Grace, proudly displayed the scars it had acquired during its harrowing encounter. It served as a powerful testament to the unbeatable spirit that resided within the courageous sailors in the relentless sea. Having undergone a profound transformation, John Copper returned to Rockport as a man who had been forever altered. His reverence for the uncharted depths of the world intensified. The tale of his heroic exploits reverberated throughout the entire village, captivating the hearts and minds of all who heard it. It was a legend forged from the epic clash between a mere mortal and a colossal marine titan. The years had etched their stories into the lines of their faces, as each wrinkle bore witness to the battles they had fought and the storms they had endured. The sailors had been shaped and molded by the powerful forces of the Atlantic's embrace. Their souls were intertwined with a profound affection for the vast expanse of the sea, a love that surpassed the limitations of mere words. The maw of a great white shark etched itself into the annals of Rockport's maritime lore, as a gripping tale of survival, sacrifice, and the ceaseless dance between man and the untamed sea unfolded. Years passed, and the shores of Rockport bore witness to countless sunsets and storms, painting a vivid tapestry of nature's ever-changing beauty and power. John's encounter with the great white shark had transformed into a remarkable testament to his fortitude, captivating the hearts and minds of those who gathered around firesides and frequented local watering holes. This extraordinary tale served as a unifying force within the village and deepened their profound connection to the vast ocean that both provided sustenance and presented formidable challenges. The scars on the Lady's Grace spoke volumes about battles that had been fought and survived, serving as a powerful testament to the indomitable spirit of the man who had fearlessly confronted the jaws of death and emerged victorious, thus earning the right to recount his awe-inspiring tale of triumph. And so the legacy of John Copper continued to unfold, as the 41-year-old man with a deep passion for boating fearlessly gazes into the menacing maw of the unknown. The windswept coast of Cape Mercy, a storied fishing town nestled along the eastern edge of the United States, became the backdrop for a fateful encounter experienced by James Bruce. It was the summer of 1998, a year etched in memory for its particularly stormy seas. The town exuded an air of maritime history, as weathered lighthouses stood tall, their structures bearing witness to countless seafaring adventures. Cobbled streets, made smooth by the passage of time, resounded with echoes of tales spun by brave sailors who once navigated treacherous waters. The distress call from the Coast Guard was received by James Bruce, a seasoned fisherman who was 50 years old. A group of tourists, whom their inexperienced captain was leading, found themselves in a dire situation as they became stranded several miles off the shore due to a malfunction that had occurred in their vessel. Time became crucial as the approaching storm posed a threat to whip the sea into a frenzy. James had a clear mission ahead of him. He would bravely face the storm and actively work to rescue the souls who were stranded. The treacherous day unfolded, etching itself into the annals of Cape Mercy's maritime history. James would face the ultimate test of his courage and skill as he confronted the raging storm and encountered one of the ocean's most fearsome predators, a great white shark. The salt-laden air clung to James's skin, enveloping him in its salty embrace as he diligently prepared his weather-beaten boat, affectionately named the Braveheart, for the treacherous journey that lay ahead. The horizon loomed before them, a foreboding tapestry of dark clouds swirling and threatening to engulf the coastline. Glancing at his trusted crewmate, David, a man who possessed the same level of experience as the boat they called home, he felt a sense of reassurance. David and James found themselves in a situation where they realized that relying solely on their wits would not be sufficient. With his gaze firmly fixed on the tumultuous sea, James muttered under his breath, He expressed hope that luck would be on their side. James tightened his grip on the wheel as the Braveheart cut through the turbulent waves, causing his knuckles to whiten. The urgency-filled crackling of the radio guided him to the stranded tourists, as the Coast Guard provided instructions. The minutes dragged on like endless hours as each wave presented itself as a menacing obstacle to their mission. Finally, James spotted the unfortunate, battered, and adrift vessel through the haze. The tourists, consisting of a delightful combination of wide-eyed children and anxious parents, were seen waving their hands frantically in the air. James's determination surged through him as he deftly maneuvered the Braveheart alongside, ensuring that the boats came perilously close to touching. The assistant assured the individuals they would be rescued from that situation. James's voice carried over the crashing waves as he called out. He instructed the others to hold on tight. With practiced precision, James and David, two experienced individuals, assisted the shaken tourists onto their boat, actively offering words of reassurance amidst the chaos. But as they were preparing to depart, a sight that sent chills down their spines froze them in their tracks. A colossal dorsal fin slices through the water, heralding the arrival of an apex predator. The great white shark is drawn by the turmoil and the scent of distress, its powerful instincts guiding it toward the source. The tourists were left in awe, their faces turning pale as the behemoth circled them, its eyes resembling black orbs filled with a predatory intent. James felt his heart pounding in his chest as his mind raced, desperately searching for a plan. He was aware that they, the individuals in question, were completely defenseless when faced with the overwhelming power of nature. With adrenaline coursing through his veins, James revs the engines, his determination fueling his actions. He hoped that the powerful roar of the engines would generate enough turbulence to deter the shark as he took charge of the situation. However, the relentless creature displayed calculated and methodical movements. Just as panic was on the verge of overtaking reason, a second boat emerged from the mist. This boat was crewed by a trio of weathered fishermen who had spent countless hours battling the elements. The team of skilled individuals expertly navigated towards James's vessel, casting outlines in a synchronized dance of skill and precision. With the precision of seasoned veterans, a group of individuals skillfully lured the shark away from its intended target, providing James with the opportunity to take action. Gasping for breath, James exerted all his strength as he skillfully steered the Braveheart towards the safety of the shore. The grateful cheers of the tourists resonated in his ears, filling him with a sense of accomplishment and relief. Upon reaching the sanctuary of the harbor, James couldn't resist the urge to cast a final glance toward the receding silhouette of the great white shark. The tourists, who had been on a memorable boating trip, made their way back to their homes with a deep sense of gratitude towards the boating man. This remarkable individual, against all odds, had managed to defy the challenges that came their way, leaving an everlasting impact on the tourists. Forever indebted to his courage and determination, they couldn't help but admire the boating man for his spirit and the unforgettable experience he had provided them with. The experience left an indelible mark on James, etching a reminder deep within his being that the untamed world possessed a duality of breathtaking beauty and unforgiving brutality. It demanded a profound level of respect and awe from him, both in equal measure. As the years rolled on, James extended his influence even further. Collaborating with scientists, he engaged in groundbreaking research that illuminated the intricate lives of sharks and actively advocated for the establishment of protected marine areas. The case of James Bruce, a courageous boating enthusiast who fearlessly confronted the formidable great white shark, extended well beyond the picturesque shores of Cape Mercy. His story had become a beacon of inspiration for generations, serving as a powerful reminder that the courage and compassion of a single individual can indeed shape the course of the natural world. As the waves continued their eternal dance, James Bruce stood tall on the Braveheart, embodying the role of a guardian of the untamed and a steward of the sea. The sun lay below the sky, casting a warm golden glow over the rugged coastline of Cape Harmony. It enveloped the small fishing village nestled along the eastern edge of the United States. The summer brought the mingling of the salty scent of the Atlantic with the earthy aroma of weathered wood and sun-warmed sand. Cape Harmony was more than a mere location. It weaved a tapestry of stories into the very fabric of the place. Cape Harmony's history stretches back through generations, like the sinuous currents of the ocean itself. The village witnessed the rise and fall of countless tides, as well as the dreams and destinies of seafarers, fishermen, and their families. The weathered cottages stood like sentinels on the shoreline, each with its unique tale, their time-worn roofs defiantly pitched against the relentless coastal winds. The sea lured the curious and the brave alike with its ever-shifting hues of blues and greens, holding beauties. Pods of dolphins frolicked in the waves, showcasing the enduring spirit of life in this unforgiving realm through their playful leaps. The eternal scavengers, seagulls, wheeled overhead, their raucous cries echoing in the salt-laden breeze. The fishing boats, scarred and battered from countless voyages, bobbed rhythmically in the harbor, bearing the weight of history and the promise of adventure. Kelvin Holes waded into the serene waters, unaware of the tumultuous events about to unfold. His calloused hands diligently worked, coaxing fractured planks back into harmony with the aging bones of his cherished vessel, Siren's Song. The boat had been his steadfast companion through storms and calms, silently witnessing countless tales of the sea. But today, a tale unlike any other would be witnessed by it. Hammering and patching, he shattered the serene facade of the sea. A shadow darkened the water around him, eclipsing the tranquility with a palpable sense of foreboding. The apex predator of the ocean, a great white shark, made its presence known. The dorsal fin of the creature sliced through the surface with an eerie grace, betraying a hunger that stirred primal fear in its obsidian eyes. Kelvin's heart pounded like the distant roll of thunder on the horizon as he locked his gaze onto the monstrous predator. Panic threatened to seize him, but he had forged a steely resolve within himself through years of facing the unpredictable whims of the sea. He reached into the battered toolbox beside him in a swift, practiced motion. His calloused fingers wrapped around the worn handle of a thick fishing net as he prepared to face the relentless beast bearing down on him. With a determination bordering on desperation, Kelvin lunged forward and cast the net with every ounce of strength in his sinewy frame. The net unfurled in midair, seeking to trap the behemoth that dared to intrude upon their dance with fate. The shark, embodying primordial power, responded with instinctual ferocity, sending shockwaves through the water. The net disintegrated in an instant, tearing to shreds as if it had been spun from the flimsiest of threads. Panic threatened to overtake Kelvin as he realized the futility of his first gambit. He couldn't afford to lose his nerve, not now. As the great white shark continued its predatory dance, its movements became ever more sinister. Kelvin's fingers grazed the hilt of a gleaming, serrated knife tucked securely into his belt. Without a moment's hesitation, the blade was drawn by him, feeling the cold, metallic weight as a reassuring presence in his grip. He deployed a final, desperate line of defense against the relentless onslaught. With a guttural growl of determination, Kelvin launched himself forward once more, his blade gleaming like a sliver of moonlight in the fading day. He aims for the heart of the storm, for the gaping maw of the great white. But fate had other plans, as it often does in the uncharted depths of the sea. In a dance as old as time, predators and prey collided, creating a whirlwind of violence and survival. The great white shark, a creature honed by millennia of evolution, evaded the strike with a lethal grace that defied its monstrous size. The massive body twisted with uncanny agility, narrowly avoiding the deadly arc of the blade. Realization washed over Kelvin like the relentless spray of the sea. He fought a losing battle, a solitary man pitted against the boundless might of the ocean's apex predator. Fear and survival instinct intertwine, urging him towards one desperate choice. He retreated, seeking sanctuary in the safety of solid land. The sand beneath Kelvin's boots burned scalding hot as he sprinted towards the dunes, his heart pounding relentlessly, his breath ragged and desperate. His ears were filled with the thunderous roar of the surf and the primal pounding of his pulse. He felt the relentless presence of the great white, a shadow that he couldn't shake. Kelvin stumbled up the shifting dunes with grains of sand slipping beneath his boots as he fought to maintain his footing. His veins surged with adrenaline, granting him a fleeting burst of strength. He crested the highest rise, casting a breathless glance back towards the shore. The shore welcomed Kelvin's stumbling form as the granules of sand cooled against his fevered skin. With every ounce of remaining strength, he scrambled to higher ground, his vision blurred, and his body racked with exhaustion. Reaching the safety of the dunes, he cast a breathless gaze back towards the tumultuous sea. In the days that followed, Kelvin's hands continued shaking, his pulse quickening due to the haunting memory of that fateful encounter. He knew a rare gift had been granted to him, a second chance at life, an opportunity to carry the story of that relentless battle with him, a testament to man's indomitable spirit against the wild. The sunset over Cape Harmony painted the sky in fiery red and dusky violet shades. Kelvin stood on the shore, fixing his gaze on the boundless horizon. The chapter in the story of the sea depicted a case of man's unyielding struggle against the forces of nature, serving as a testament to the enduring spirit of those who dared to sail the wild waters.